I'm just saying if you slow stuff down for just a minute, it can really help. That's what James is trying to do in the text. He's talking about temptation, and he understands it all happens so fast. So the pastor wants you to slow it down. If you're going to understand the enemy from within, you need to understand this idea of deception. Verse number 14, every man is tempted when he is drawn away. If it's just obviously evil and obviously going to hurt us, we're unlikely to give into it. But if there is something that is appealing, if it is cloaked in some kind of way, we're more likely to give into it. You want to make the fish think that whatever the flashy thing is that you just threw in the water, it's going to be fine. The flashy thing that you just threw in the water is going to satisfy them. And it's really all just a big deception right before you draw them away. There's deception. Secondly, this evening, there's attraction. And you're drawn away through deception. And it's deception of our own lust, and then we're enticed. It will be something that we're attracted to. So sexually, something that's attractive, verbally, something that's attractive intellectually, emotionally, or whatever. It's attractive. It's that which entices us. All right? Not only deception and attraction, but thirdly, then the text talks about conception. It's the moment that we bite. It's the moment that we indulge. Notice verse number 15. Then when lust hath conceived, it's conception. So yeah, there is this deception. And so you see the thing that is designed to deceive you. And there is this attraction. And it's in that moment where we all have the choice to recognize God's being faithful, which is the idea that every single time we are tempted, He is there providing the way of escape without fail. That's when you take the way of escape before you get to this third idea of conception. By the way, temptation in and of itself is not sin, because Jesus was tempted like as we are, yet without sin. So there are going to be some things dropped into the water of our lives that are deception and that are attractive. But we don't have to bite on them. And then the fourth idea is the transgression. Notice verse 15, when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. I'm using the word transgression here for this idea of sin. All right? It's the idea of crossing the line. You know you shouldn't have. But you did anyways. You crossed the line. God says, be holy for I am holy. And instead of pursuing personal holiness as much as a finite person can, you transgressed the law of God. And ultimately that brings us to this fifth idea. And the text communicates that of destruction. Destruction. Notice again verse number 15, when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth, say the word out loud, death. I'm referring to death as destruction. Now we understand Romans 5, I think verse number 12, the Bible says, wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin. So death passed upon all men. It's Romans 6:23 that says the wages of sin is death. So because of our sin, we deserve separation from God for all of eternity. The cause being sin, the result then being death and destruction. All sin leads to death. Sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. And this is a description of physical death.